Last week on the PBA Tour, Walter Ray Williams Jr. was our champion. No stranger to winning. Today, Walter Ray looks history in the eye. Since winning his first tournament back in 1986, the titles have piled up. 40 times he has beaten all comers and hoisted the Victor's Trophy. PBA's Holy Grail is Earl Anthony's 41 career wins. Can Walter Ray catch it? We'll find out. Live coverage of the PBA on ESPN continues today from Greater St. Louis. Dave Ryan and Randy Peterson bring you the PBA BowlersParadise.com Open. Can Walter Ray Williams Jr. tie Earl Anthony's all-time title record? He's one of 4 bowlers left, and they're ready to roll.
From Lockport, New York, in 2002, he was the PBA Rookie of the Year. Last year, he was the PBA points leader. Today, he looks to add his first career title to his resume. Angelo.
As consistent as they come on the PBA Tour, some say he can't win out here. Today, he looks to prove them wrong.
His 11 career PBA titles include 4 majors. The only man to win the Tournament of Champions 3 consecutive times. From Claremont, Florida, Jason Couch.
The most powerful left-hander out here, but this week he wasn't throwing the big hook. He was bringing straight heat.
He has appeared in the TV finals once in his career and defeated 3 Hall of Famers on the way to his only PBA title. From Salina, Texas, Rick Lawrence.
A finesse player. If he matches up with the old pattern today, as well as he has all week, well, we may have a dark horse in our midst.
His career numbers are overwhelming, but only one matters today, as he tries to tie Earl Anthony's career win record with 41. From Ocala, Florida, Walter Ray Williams Jr.
The behemoth of our sport. He has all the tools of the trade, and the last 2 weeks, his tools have been razor sharp.
These are your 4 finalists for the PBA BowlersParadise.com Open.
Semifinal number 1 pits Mr. Consistency, Brad Angelo, who is in the hunt every week out here, and the likable left-hander, Jason Couch, who has at least 1 title the past 6 seasons. In semifinal number 2, Rick Lawrence, who has never lost a match on TV. He's 4-0 lifetime. He'll take on last week's winner, Walter Ray Williams Jr., who looks to make history with title number 41 today.
So we start with Brad Angelo and Jason Couch. Brad's still seeking that first career title. Do you look at it as a monkey being on your back? You have to take it off. How do you approach today?
Oh, goodness. You know, I haven't been out here long enough to have a monkey anywhere. So, but I'll tell you what, hopefully today, later this afternoon, you'll see history being made. Don't turn the station.
Wants to make his own history. Good luck. Jason Couch, last year, 4th event of the year, Grand Rapids. You're able to win that. 4th event of this season, you're back on TV. Is there a coincidence there?
I don't think there's a coincidence. I've been working hard all summer on my game, training very hard, and it seems like all the cylinders start to click around the 4th week. So I'm ready to get it on today and take that trophy home.
Best of luck to you, Randy. We know he's pretty happy about his Florida Gators winning yesterday over Florida State as well. Jason Couch, very pumped up.
Big money this week, Dave Ryan. Jason Couch, a big sports fan. Our sport today will pay $40,000 for first, 25,000 points. Remember, with a win, you will make the all-exempt field for next year. It's the easiest way to get it done out here on the tour. Hardest road. Jason Couch looking to win his 12th career title today.
Starts our event in style here in St. Louis. And Randy, as you mentioned, he is bringing the heat.
Yeah, Dave, you know, this week, he was going really straight all week long.
Coming to us from the Buffalo area, Western New York, Brad Angelo, former PBA Rookie of the Year. Made 5 shows last season. Was outstanding. Late help on number 5. But he's still looking for win number 1, Randy, as we check out our first Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup.
Well, pretty tight matchup. You can see that only 3.5 pin difference here. Strike percentage pretty close. Spare percentage dead on. Basically, this match is going to come down to who matches up better, the lefty or the righty.
Over Rick Steelsmith, 5 games. How about the average for Brad Angelo? Some big numbers. But in turn, Brad's had some huge numbers shot at him on TV in his career. We'll break that down for you. Wants to be on the positive side today. With shots like that, baby, I'm not going nowhere today. He might just be. And Randy last night told us that today we may see some emotion and theatrics from him.
Well, especially if he keeps throwing shots like this. Brad Angelo learning how to go straighter out here on the tour. He thinks that's what it's going to take to get him over the hump to get his first title. So far, so good.
35-year-old Jason Couch. Claremont, Florida, near Orlando. Had to hurry.
Slow down.
Came in light.
Speed slow.
6 and 10.
You heard Jason Couch say he threw it a little firm. Playing that real straight outside line. Missed 4 multi-pin conversions this week. Shouldn't have a problem with this one.
He's playing further outside than we're used to seeing him play.
Yeah, we always usually see him playing in. He likes to play the big hook, and that's to his advantage.
16 and 6 match play record, a 228.82 average for Jason Couch.
Re-rack.
And you can clearly hear he's asking for a re-rack. We told you the match play record and numbers a moment ago. 7 games over the Chief. Brian Himmler has won already this year on tour back in Chicago. A 6-gamer over another lefty, Patrick Gallen. Steve Wilson went down in 5 games. PA and Jason, a duel, 2 of the game's top lefties. 232, 224 in game 6 against Patrick Gallen. Needed a strike in the 10th and got it. So he's faced some tough pressure moments already.
Jason knows what pressure's all about. You don't win 3 tournament of champions in a row without knowing how to deal with pressure.
Just like that, baby. Just like that. Just like the Gators on the Knolls last night.
What do we tell you? How happy is he? Ron Zook got the win in Tallahassee over Bobby Bowden.
This shot nice and clean and smooth. Didn't overthrow that one. Ball reads the lane properly and faces up into the 1-2 pocket.
Folks, Brad Angelo was fabulous last year. We told you about the 5 shows. Now, he didn't win. He made 4 of the last 9 shows. Second swing of the season. That's way high through the nose, and 3 pins stand. 6, 9, 10.
You can see this ball's just dead left out of his hand, and lucky that he only leaves the 6, 9, 10. Goes to a plastic spare ball. He's going to try to throw it straight and hard right at the 6, 10.
Was the tour points leader, won the Harry Smith Point Leader Award last year over Mika Koivuniemi, who was the PBA Tour MVP. See his week here in match play. 16 and 5 record, 224.67 average. And our Masters champ Danny Wiseman went down to Brad in the round of 16.
Took care of Jeff Safino in the first round. Jeff Safino made it out of the qualifier, but was no match for Brad Angelo in his first round.
Lane level look at a flush strike from Brad Angelo.
We watch how this one's about 3 to 4 boards further right than the last shot on the right lane. That's what he needs to do. This pattern doesn't lend itself for shots that miss too far to the left unless you're going really straight.
Jason Couch last year beat Steve Wilson, the final in Grand Rapids for his title.
That's right.
And you see how far left he continues to play.
Anywhere.
And he's got some words for his opponent and the TV audience.
Well, you know, the last thing you want to do is get into a trash talking contest with Jason Couch. He's going to bring it. He's not afraid. He's not going to back down.
6 straight years Jason Couch has won a title. Right now, a 3-pin lead. Works on a strike. This is for Turkey Opportunity to go up 13 pins. He's won 4 majors, 11 titles overall. Knows pressure-packed moments like this. Big response, Jason Couch. Back-to-back strikes. Our march to the PBA World Championship in the spring. Danny Wiseman won the ABC Masters in Milwaukee. Patrick Allen bowled well there also. Walter Ray, a title last week in Cleveland. Rick Steele-Smith made the round of 8 this week. Ryan Voss, we saw him in the finals as well in Chicago. Back to Brad Angelo. Oh, no help on number 10. He was hoping across that deck he might get a little assistance.
He's looking for a little bird dog here. Head pin goes across, but goes in front of the 10.
Takes care of the 10 pin. Brad had that happen quite a bit to him. Trying to get that messenger across the deck. 6 pin to the 10. History in the making. Maybe we'll see it. Here today in Greater St. Louis, Walter Ray Williams Jr. tries to tie the late, great Earl Anthony's all-time tour title record of 41. Walter Ray has 40 heading into this event today. He'll take on Rick Lawrence in the semifinal. And it's all coming up here from St. Louis. Angelo. Perfect shot. He trails Jason Couch, the left-hander, by 13 pins. When we return, Randy and I will talk about the history in the making, perhaps, with Walter Ray Williams Jr. and the oil pattern as well as these two great bowlers attack it. Just about half an hour from downtown St. Louis, and we are very honored to be in the company of Dick Weber. 26-time titleist, 1975, inducted into the Pro Bowlers Hall of Fame. Certainly knows much about Earl Anthony's great record of 41 career titles. He bowled against the late, great Earl Anthony many times. So Randy Peterson, we're on the verge of some history today. Walter Ray Williams a chance to catch Earl Anthony, and Walter Ray really has downplayed the idea of getting there. Maybe he thought he couldn't do it over the last couple of years, but as he's gotten closer, he's admitted to us, yeah, it's creeping into my thoughts. Did you think he could ever do it?
I really didn't, and not because he doesn't have the ability, but I thought that once we went to the new format, that it was just going to be too difficult for him to catch Earl's record. But it just goes to show you that, you know, or it goes to show you how great Walter Ray is. No matter what the format, no matter what the lane conditions, this guy's one win away from tying Earl's record.
Speaking of lane conditions, oil today is the Viper pattern.
The Viper pattern. Let me show you how it played this week. Multiple angles on the Viper pattern. 37 feet of oil. It allowed the right-handers to play pretty straight from here, or you could even hook it a little bit like Brad Angelo. The guys on the left side, they're going to be going pretty straight in between first and second arrow, a la Jason Couch. But remember, one false move, you get bit.
Thank you, Crocodile Randy. Love that accent, partner. On the Viper pattern, 223.91. That was 2 years back, and last year the average slightly higher. I've seen some pretty big numbers this week.
And let me just add that, you know, last week's pattern, a higher scoring pattern than this week's, Walter Ray actually averaged higher this week than he did last week.
13 pin advantage for Couch.
Oh, great shot, great shot. Oh, good shot.
Jason Couch using a very non-aggressive bowling ball, but you can see what happens when you have angle and speed and revolutions. Those pins were flying like shrapnel.
Broke a streak of 3 straight strikes for Jason Couch. Great season last year, cashing in 17 of 20 events. Finished 6th in average, 7th in cashes. Did have that one title.
Another good one.
In Grand Rapids. Was the victim of the 300 game in Windsor Locks to Mika Koivuniemen, the wild card game in Connecticut last year. Faced some pretty tough luck on television a year ago. First show of this new season for Couch, 12-pin lead. 7th frame. Also lost to you last year, partner. Round of 16 at the Dexter Tournament of Champions.
Yeah, I beat him up bad. he never lets me forget it either. I got lucky against him. And speaking of luck, Dave Ryan, the last 2 frames for Jason Couch, it's been all bad luck. Again, not throwing the big hook. That bowling ball goes right by the 8-pin. Watch this. Look at that. Again, power, speed, and angle. A very non-aggressive 3-piece bowling ball. The construction, the inside part of the bowling ball actually delays roll.
Single pin numbers for Jason Couch this week in St. Louis. Chance here to pick it up. However, the lead will shrink, and Angelo's working on a strike. Down goes the 8-pin for Jason Couch.
Maybe those ebonite balls hit too hard. They're too good.
And to me, this 7th frame, this next shot for Brad Angelo, the most important shot of this match. It'll really set the stage for what happens later on. He strikes here. He's only down by 1 pin, working on a double. With 2 strikes, 7th and 8th, he can take the lead.
Very interesting to see how he responds to the TV timeout. In last year's shows, he didn't do well after the break. How about now? Perfect.
Yeah, but the Brunswick ones get all 10, though.
See that hand rotating around the side of the ball? That gets the ball to feed to the right, but it also gets it to return back once friction's created on the lane.
He has 1 win, folks, on TV in his career. It came last year against Paul Fleming. PBA Reno Open, lost to Mika Koivuniemi that week in the finals. Just got blasted, 258 to 181. Trying to get back to the finals again. Lady baby!
Big shot there, Dave Ryan. I told you that sets up his 9th and 10th frame. He has now taken the lead, and he's getting the nice carry of that soft speed and rotation. Watch all the pins stay low. They don't get airborne. And watch this reaction. You think he knows the score?
3 in a row for Angelo. And Brad, a 9-pin lead now, surpasses Jason Couch. And the tough breaks, 6th and 7th. Needs a rally. Pins just explode. Couch is bringing heat, as you said he would.
Yeah, he better bring it in this 9th frame or he's going to lose. I'm going to tell you that right now. The best Jason Couch can shoot, if he strikes out 9th and 10th, 248. Brad Angelo can strike out and shoot 257.
About 10 minutes, folks. We'll bring you potential history in the making. Walter A. Williams Jr. tries to tie Earl Anthony's title record. We've got a semifinal match first to worry about with Rick Lawrence. Rick is making his 2nd ever TV show in his career. But he's got some history on his side we'll tell you about. Couch has to have it.
Don't you think I was going somewhere? I'm not going anywhere.
As Jason's fiancée, Kim Bussman, watches closely, the 2 will be married next summer.
On the PBA Tour. This is what it takes to win.
Don't you think I was going somewhere? I'm not going anywhere.
Whether it's match play or bowling on television, you don't win matches without performing in the 9th and 10th frame.
Back and forth, Randy go. A strike here puts him up. There it is.
No questions there, baby. No questions there.
Wow. We have got some major trash talking going on, the best we've seen on the tour in years. This is something. Brad told us last night, moments like this, he's worked so hard for. His wife Michelle back home in Buffalo together have thought about the plan when he went on tour 2.5 years ago. All leading up to a shot like this. He promised us he would not back down from Jason Couch, and has he ever delivered in that regard? Strike and 2 pins, and it's over. Brad would advance to the finals to take on either Rick Lawrence or Walter Ray Williams Jr. He's done it!
Yeah, Ricky, do it for you, baby!
Big shots in the 9th and 10th frame. Jason knows that there's nothing he can do except watch. Boy, did Brad cure this shot. And he knows it as soon as he lets it go.
Here's a spare ball, just keeping it on the lane. He'll get all 10 down. And Brad Angelo has won this semifinal match. The bid for his first ever title will continue against either Lawrence or Walter Ray Williams Jr. Couch's week will come to an end.
Well, the Rothy cloud stays in contact.
Next week, we are headed to Wichita, Kansas for the Pepsi Open. PBA Bowling on ESPN Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time. The home of so many former Wichita State wheat shockers like Chris Barnes, Patrick Healy Jr., Lonnie Walchek, Rick Steele-Smith, all in their hometown will be vying for the title. Next semifinal coming up. Rick Lawrence, who won in 1999 on the PBA Tour, folks, in Wichita, by the way. And guess who he faced along the way to win his only title and his only show? Walter Ray Williams Jr. He also beat Parker Bone III and Mike Albee.
All right.
A shout out to home for Brad Angelo. What a moment for him. He's off to the finals.
About trick shots, not all your real bowling accomplishments.
Okay, I got a couple of trick shots.
Okay.
Can Walter Ray Williams Jr.'s skill on the lanes translate to a High Life PBA Skills Challenge victory? We find out
Point your
next.
fingers at people.
Brad Angelo has already advanced to the championship match. Who will he face looking for his first ever career title? Will it be Walter Ray Williams Jr. or Rick Lawrence? Those two are getting set to go in the semis. There's Tom Baker, the PBA World Championship winner, and the roommate of Brad Angelo. He's here to support his buddy. If you were with us last week, you saw Jason Couch defeat Richie Wolf in the first Miller High Life Skills Challenge. The round of 16 continues today. PBA Hall of Famer Walter Ray Williams Jr. takes on Brian Kretzer.
Ohio, give it up for Brian Kretzer. And career earnings from Ocala, Florida. Give it up for Walter Ray Williams Jr.
This is about trick shots, not all your real bowling accomplishments.
So Brian Kretzer will try to forget all those incredible accomplishments for the Hall of Famer. Begins with a 1, 2, 3, 7, 10 spare. Can he get it?
It's got a chance.
Curve them, Warren. You got to curve them. Get out of here.
You heard Brian Kretzer say you got to curve the ball. Well, you can see that this ball takes a hard left turn to the Brooklyn side. Headpin takes the 10 out.
How do you get lined up to go Brooklyn?
He did just that. Kretzer looks to take a 1-0 lead, which he will unless Walter Ray can convert it. 1, 2, 3, 7, 10. 7 is up, and Kretzer takes the advantage.
I said, don't hit the pocket.
Got to get to 3 strikes on the scoreboard. Kretzer up 1-0 now. Another interesting spare here for Brian. 1, 5, 7.
Brian taking advantage of his big hook.
Nails it. Nicely done by Brian Kretzer.
Too good. You are too good.
The ball.
That dude on this lane, right?
Good. I was throwing my strike shots over there, so I'm like lined up.
Look at how the 1 pin takes out the 7. That's textbook, Dave.
Walter Ray needs to match Kretzer now, or he falls into a 2-0 hole. 5-7 spare. Covers nicely.
Just a run-of-the-mill strike shot for Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Oh, goodness.
Now Kretzer tries to pick the 9 pin out from behind the 3. Very creative. Trick shot, double wood.
Got a curve! How do you keep it out there in that dry? I don't understand that. I get it out in the dry, my ball goes left. How do you keep your ball out there?
Walter Ray better figure out how Kretzer is doing just that, or he's going to be in trouble. First to 3 strikes wins the match. What a challenge.
That's not going to make it.
Knew it wasn't going to make it.
I'm doing my specialty.
He was right.
I'm doing my specialty shot.
2-0, Kretzer the lead, and you heard what he's going to bring next, the specialty shot. 5-7-8 split. All pins must be struck. 7-0 Randy rating, pretty tough. He's got it.
Specialty shot! Hey, Randy, where's Randy at? Randy!
That was awesome.
Sure we can't do this every week? I have a lot better chance.
I'm right here, Brian, and you were right on the mark there with that beautiful hook ball. Again, playing to Brian Kretzer's strength, able to convert the 5-7-8 with the bowling ball.
Randy's confident for good reason. Wants to watch Walter Ray pick up this 5-7-8 split.
No shot clock in this, is there?
Hitting all the pins. The legend does not appear confident. For good reason. 7 is up, and a 3-0 Kretzer win.
It's your champion, Brian Kretzer.
So Brian Kretzer and Jason Couch are in the round of 8. Tune in next week as 2 Wichita State Wheat Shocker alums battle in their old hometown. Monty Walchek and Chris Barr. Let's check in. PBA on the road. We are headed to Wichita, Kansas. Back there for the first time since the 02-03 season opener when Dave Diachamont won a title. Pro-Am's available for all you fans out there. 2 different sites. 3 sites in the Denver, Colorado area. That's where we're going. December 5th, the TV show. Lakewood, Colorado, in the Rockies. Be sure to log on to PBA.com for more info on the events. Register to bowl in the Pro-Ams. And everything you need to know about bowling in the PBA Tour Qualifier. Head to the tour's official website at PBA.com. All the latest news, stats, and standings, including live match play scoring. Just a mouse click away at PBA.com. History in the making today. Can Walter Ray Williams Jr. do it? In addition, looking for back-to-back titles after last week. Looking back at last week's PBA Uniroyal Tire Classic, Greater Cleveland Hall of Famer Walter Ray Williams Jr. taking on 6-time titleist Doug Kent in a title match. Quality shot making all around. However, a ringing 10 in the 9th by Kent opened the door for Williams, who slammed it shut with a strike, winning 268 to 248, plus claiming his 40th career title. He's now 1 shy of the all-time legend and title holder Earl Anthony. Posing the question, Randy, who is the greatest?
Well, hard to compare 2 completely different eras. As you can see, Walter Ray Williams Jr. almost twice as many events, but I think that's a testament to the longevity of Walter Ray Williams Jr. He gets my vote.
History in the making continues today. Can Walter Ray Williams Jr. catch Earl Anthony? That is how things stand at the PBA BowlersParadise.com Open. The brackets. Brad Angelo is through. He'll take on either Rick Lawrence or Walter Ray Williams Jr. Both of those competitors are with Randy Peterson.
Thanks, Dave. Rick Lawrence's only title came in 1999 in Wichita, but Rick, you had to beat 3 Hall of Famers for that victory, including this guy right here. Can you do it again today?
Well, I can work on it. He's up for needing, wanting to tie the record, and I've got my own agenda, and so we're going to have a battle today.
Thanks, Rick. Good luck. Walter Ray Williams Jr. Possible history in the making today. Only 1 victory away from tying Earl Anthony's record. But first, you have to get by Rick Lawrence. How do you stay in the moment?
I just need to go out there and concentrate on what I'm doing, throw one shot at a time, and hopefully they all fall down for me.
Very good. Thank you. Good luck, Walter Ray. Dave?
As always, Walter Ray Williams Jr., Randy, is completely focused. Never see him sweating a drop. He is something else.
He is.
Back-to-back title leaders. A guy named Dick Weber did it 9 times as Walter Ray Williams Jr. tries to make it 5 times. And we are joined by the legend, Dick Weber. Thanks so much for your time today. You knew Earl Anthony very well. As we see action starting with Walter Ray Williams on a good start. And you competed against Earl. Did you ever think anyone would approach the record of 41 titles?
No, I really didn't. You know, Walter Ray is such a great bowler, but even though he has such a different style than Earl, I didn't think he'd reach Earl's plateau, but he's a great bowler.
All right. Dick and I'll be joined by Randy in a moment. Rick Lawrence gets started. In the pocket for the lefty, our second southpaw of the show, along with Jason Couch. "45 years old, and it's been a long time, as Randy mentioned, with Rick Lawrence since he's appeared on TV 1999 and only rolled over 3 Hall of Famers to get that 1 title.
I just have to say what a pleasure it is to be an honor. Sitting next to the great Dick Weber, who I played golf with behind yesterday.
Well, you want to pay me?
7th pin for Lawrence. With his family watching. He is from the Dallas Metroplex. Salina, Texas, about 40 miles or so from downtown Dallas. Big Cowboy fan, his wife Gail, son Matt, and daughter Kayla are here with them. They travel with Rick and his wife on tour. 2 other daughters, grown and married now, are watching in Texas as well. Randy, we go to the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup.
And when you look at these numbers, you're thinking to yourself, wow, it's going to be a slaughter. I mean, 22 pins a game higher average, 10 percentage points higher strike percentage. But remember, we still have to play the game, and look back. Wow. Boy, that's something you hardly ever see Walter Ray do.
Don't you think? Yes, that's true. But don't you think in that average difference in one game, it doesn't make that much difference?
I agree. I don't think it does. I mean, anything can happen in a one-game match. Now, remember, Walter Ray told us that he has the fastest slide sole on his shoe because of the synthetic approaches.
And they were sticky all through the season, all through the tournament, actually. And you know, especially the corners, they had to be very careful of.
Dick, you bowled in the tournament against Chris Barnes. Did you have trouble with the approaches as well?
I did personally. I ended up a good couple of feet behind the foul line, which is not normal for me, but one of those things you put up with.
Oh, avoided a 7-10, not by much, guys. We're joined by PBA legend Hall of Famer Dick Weber here in the booth, watching Walter Ray Williams Jr. chase history.
You know, all the fellas have left a solid or a weak 10, as we call it, and Rick Lawrence, being left-handed, left the weak 7, and they're looking for a little more friction on the back end, a little more energy, I think.
Well, Dick, back in your heyday, when you left a weak 10, what kind of adjustment did you make?
I just threw harder and straighter and tried to get up there. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that big hook.
Wait, hey,
you're right at the head pin, Dick. Come on.
Did you see the 6-pin slap the 10 out like that? Man, my ball used to do that a long time ago. This week against Barnes?
There we go. That wasn't a very good approach, I'll tell you that.
Nice result, though. Was it nice to get back out there and Dick and compete on a PBA tour?
Yes, it certainly was, Dave. It was a thrill for me, and I really enjoyed it as we see Rick Lawrence get a strike there.
Rick was very quick to remind us, guys, that although Walter Ray has defeated 104 different bowlers on TV, he has not defeated Rick Lawrence. Rick is not on that list, so maybe a little bit of a mental edge coming into this one. Dick, what do you think?
I have to give the odds to Walter Ray. You know, he's such a great bowler.
for a double, fourth frame, an 11-pin lead.
Oh, what a break.
That's what you need in this game, a big break like that. Wouldn't you?
Oh, well, that's what you need to beat Walter Ray Williams Jr. You need Walter Ray to have bad carry, and you need this kind of stuff to happen to you.
Crazy. Just crazy.
Wow. Now, Dick, there's a question I have to ask you after Walter Ray throws this shot. I have to ask you this question. Yeah, Walter Ray says, real strikes, pal. Dick, you bowled with the late, great Earl Anthony. I know you bowled against him on television. You've watched Walter Ray for a number of years. In your opinion, who is the greatest player of all time?
Oh, that's a tough question to answer. You know, Earl was so great. Walter's so great. You can't compare their eras because different eras. And the way Walter's going right now, he's gonna beat Earl's record. So you have to go with him.
That's way high, guys, and it's 6-10.
Did he drop that ball?
It looked like he just got real soft with it. Watch this. Looks like he just got soft. That ball grabbed too early. Remember that Walter Ray told Dave and I last night that he's been using a really high friction bowling ball to get it started early, to get it to start rolling early on the oil pattern.
Takes care of the 6-10. Guys, as we check out how Walter Ray Williams Jr. got this far, a 16-3 match play record, the average 240.95. So he started things off with the high amateur Robbie Spigner from the Chicago area, and then Steve Jarris in the round of 8 went down to 5 games.
He only lost 3 games, all 4 rounds. I mean, it's pretty dominating.
Turkey ball try here for Lawrence. How about a 21-pin lead? Oh, he avoids a 7-10. 7 stands for him.
And evidently, Dick, Rick doesn't know who he's bowling against. I mean, you're not supposed to do this to the #1 player in the world, the #1 player on the planet.
Well, you know, all of our bowlers are such great athletes. And when they get here, you know, they've earned their way. And he's not afraid of anybody. He's won once, but he's still not afraid of anybody, even though he hasn't done well since.
Hey, guys, he's never lost on TV. 4-0 in his career after that Wichita event 5 years ago. Getting here, a 16-4 match play record, 218.05 average. Kretzer went down. In fact, Tom Baker, the World Championship winner, and Kretzer go down in straight 4-game matches. Sweeps.
His opponents had a tough go. They only averaged 204 against him, and he took full advantage of it.
Can it be? We thought we were going to look at history in the making, guys. Instead, Lawrence may change the trend of history. He's got a 10-pin lead, works on a strike. PBA Tour here in St. Louis for a 29th time. Last year's Baby Ruth Real Deal Classic in this area won by Mike Scroggins. Special thanks to Nick Melnikoff, president of BowlerParadise.com. They've been great hosts for us all week long. We've spoken often today of Walter Ray Williams Jr. and the 40 career wins. Ratty breaks down Deadeye's winning style in this week's Dexter Approach from St. Louis.
And Dave, you know, when you talk about Walter Ray Williams Jr., really 3 things come to mind. First is the simplistic motion. You know, not a lot of moving parts, just kind of walks to the foul line and releases. Second, I think he's got one of the greatest swings because it's compact. Not a lot to go wrong. And third, he has the best hand-eye coordination in the business.
This week's Dexter Approach. Folks, we're in for a little shock here. If you're just joining us, Walter Ray Williams Jr. bidding to tie Earl Anthony's all-time record of 41 career titles. But he's in a 10-pin hole. Works on a spin. 6-3. Shreds the rack. Trying to tie it. Late help.
Nice break there. Nice break there.
And he needed it.
Oh, yes.
To pull even in the match, Dick, but he's working on a double. Rick Lawrence on a strike. But this gets him right back in the match, and in my opinion, now puts the pressure back on Rick Lawrence. This is what we call the Swiss zone, what I call the Swiss zone. What do you call that?
Oh, that's a Swiss zone.
Okay, thank you.
Did you ever get one of those?
Many.
Okay.
I think you've gotten a few of those in your career.
We're pleased to be joined by Hall of Famer Dick Weber in the booth with us here in St. Louis, watching Lawrence and Walter A. Williams Jr.
Oh, my.
Another break.
Late help again for Lawrence. Can you believe what we're seeing, folks?
Another good break for Rick Lawrence.
Wow. This ball's going high. Looks like it should be a 6-7-10. All three get caved in for another big strike.
They are rooting for Dad. Gail, Rick's wife of 25 years. The two kids travel with the Lawrence family in a motorhome. They're homeschooled. And his son is quite a bowler. Lives on the lanes, Rick tells us. With his family watching, big shot. How about Rick Lawrence? He does not want to be part of history today.
And taking full advantage of the good breaks.
Definitely. Noticing one thing about Walter Ray. He's setting the ball down so early compared to what he used to do. In fact, like last week.
How about a break for Walter Ray? Dick Weber, late 10 pin.
Yeah, Dick, I think he's doing that to try to get the ball to roll. You know, the farther he lofts it out on the lane, the straighter it's going to go. And watch this. Walter Ray says to Rick Lawrence with this shot, hey, you're not the only one that can get a break, partner. Take a look at this. Little love tap on the late 10.
The spike. Not getting red hot as Walter Ray normally does. A strike here. And he can even it up.
Key shot for Walter Ray. Very key shot.
Looks for a four-bagger here, Dick. 9th frame. It's a big one. Oh, 10 pin. Wow. His wife, Paige Pennington, by his side on our TV show as usual. Deadeye takes aim and takes care of the 10 pin. Back in '99, Wichita, Kansas, these two did go head-to-head on TV. And what happened? Rick Lawrence won it en route to the Brunswick Pro Source Open title, his only TV show, his only championship. Trying to write some history of his own. Lawrence now an 11-pin lead. This is a huge shot. Go up 21 pins. Looks for the four-bagger. Has it!
He needs a mark in the 10th frame, and it's all over for Walter A. Williams Jr.
Just going to say a mark shuts him out. Has to be very disappointing for Walter at this point. Just sit there and wait for a guy to get a spare.
Well, Rick has gotten two fortunate breaks that have basically given him an extra 30 pins. And if he strikes out, it'd be more. But he can strike out to shoot 259. Those two huge breaks where he went through the mark, not only not splitting, he struck.
All he needs a mark to take care of Walter Ray. Oh. 8 pins stand still. Just needs that. And Walter Ray's bid for history will have to wait at least one more week. So, Dick, while we're on the subject, what is the most distinct memory you have of Earl Anthony?
Well, Earl was always a gentleman on the lanes as well as off the lanes. He was a tremendous bowler. He done a lot for the game, and he was one of our great ambassadors of the game. So we certainly miss him and wish he was around yet.
With his family watching, takes care of the 8-pin. Leads 1 pin with his family from Dallas watching. He's got a daughter in the Houston area, one in Dallas as well. What an incredible story.
And we are going to get a new entry into the Tournament of Champions.
Exactly, that's right. Brad Angelo and
Brad, Angelo, or Rick Lawrence.
his wife, Gail. His wife can't believe it. A shocking upset win here for Lawrence. He beats Walter Ray Williams Jr. to advance to the final. Incredible.
Dick, I was down on the floor watching Walter practice. He didn't look comfortable. And normally when a player doesn't look comfortable right before air, it's because their ball reaction isn't very good.
That's exactly right, because I was watching him when he's practicing before the show, and he used the ball that was come out of the box as sanded bowling ball. And the ball either hooked early or else went long for him. And like you say, he wasn't comfortable with the shot.
October 12th of '99, the last time Rick Lawrence appeared and won a TV show. On a shot against Brad Angelo in today's final. Dick Weber, thanks so much for joining us. Great to see you.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you, Randy Peterson.
Lawrence and Angelo in the final. Our PBA BowlersParadise.com Open outside St. Louis. The final is now set. It's a shock, folks. Walter Ray Williams Jr. will not catch Earl Anthony's record of 41 titles today, because Lawrence will take on Angelo in the final. So we saw Brad Angelo defeat Jason Couch in our first semifinal today. Ever wonder what Brad does to take his mind off bowling? Randy asks him that and more in this week's Miller Six-Pack.
What is your favorite music?
I enjoy a lot of different types of music. I'm a big fan of contemporary Christian music. Stephen Curtis Chapman's my favorite.
What is the smartest thing you've ever done?
I would have to say 2.5 years ago, making the decision along with input from Michelle to join the tour, without a doubt. I would have never expected that 2 years into this career of being on the PBA would have transformed into what it is transformed into already.
What is the one thing that you like to do that takes your mind completely off of bowling?
Golf. Nothing like a good round of golf.
Nothing like it. What is the best time of day for you?
Definitely, without a doubt, at the evening when I get the opportunity and the privilege to rock my son to sleep or my daughter to sleep, and then that hour and a half before Michelle and I finally get to sleep, sharing the time with her.
As a child, what was your favorite toy?
Definitely a bowling ball and bowling pins. My grandmother set up pins constantly when I was young for me. Lucy Hausman, she's not around anymore. She'd be really proud of what happened.
What is the greatest sports moment you've ever seen?
2004. My best friend, Tom Baker, kicking my butt on television and ultimately winning the PBA World Championship. Absolutely was, every time I think about it, I get a big smile on my face for him.
This week's Miller Highlights Six-Pack. Rick Lawrence has never lost on TV, bidding for a second career title. He's 5-0. First ever TV matchup with Angelo. The title match next. There we are. Our bracket today here from Greater St. Louis. Brad Angelo looks for his first career title. Rick Lawrence, a shocking win over Walter Ray Williams Jr. in the other semifinal. Randy Peterson, let's check in with a Geico Direct Championship recap.
Thanks, Dave. Earlier in match one, it was Brad Angelo defeating Jason Couch by the score of 257-226. Angelo's last 7 strikes locked it up. Then in match number 2, it was Rick Lawrence defeating Walter Ray Williams Jr. by the score of 238-217. Lawrence parlays good breaks into victory, setting up a great championship match for the PBA BowlersParadise.com title.
And now we're the finalists. First to Rick Lawrence. You told us last night about trying to keep your nerves in check. You looked like you were pretty relaxed in that matchup. Can you keep the momentum going after the upset win over Walter Ray?
Well, looks are kind of deceiving. I was kind of shaking in my boots, but I feel good, and I'm going to concentrate and focus, and I think I can keep it going.
Best of luck to you.
All right, thanks.
Brad, how about concentration and focus? You had some trash talking going on with Jason in that semifinal. We're going to see more of that in the final here.
Well, that's all in fun. Most of the guys out here, you know, when if there's any little way we can dig each other, we try to do the best we can. But, you know, I just wanted to be able to say thanks to Brunswick, Dexter, and Vice Grips for allowing me the privilege to be on their staff. Thanks, guys.
On the verge of your first win, what is going through your mind right now?
Oh, well, I won't worry about that for another 12, 13 shots.
I think he's ready to go, Randy. It sounds like it.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.
Brad Angelo's keys to victories. He must stay focused, stay in the moment, and make 10 quality shots. Rick Lawrence, he needs to stay down at the foul line. The shots that he pulled and went high, although getting the good breaks and striking, he needs to stay down, make good shots, and keep a good mindset. I also think it's very important, Dave, that Rick Lawrence keeps his ball speed up and the amount of loft.
He felt, in speaking to him last night, that his ball selection and his layout was exactly tailored to the oil pattern all week. Do you agree?
I agree. I mean, he figured out a way to get the ball reaction that he's accustomed to, that he likes, that he feels comfortable with. I mean, that's half the battle out here. Once you get that look, the next step, obviously, is getting to the foul line consistently.
10-pin for Angelo. Who had 10 strikes in the first match. Semifinal. An exciting win with lots of emotion over Jason Couch. With a square ball. Number 10 goes down, leading us to the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Average the big difference here, 7 pins a game higher for Mr. Angelo, but as we saw in the last match, you can basically just throw those numbers out. You never know what's going to happen with Rick Lawrence.
Red hot in the first match of the day on TV here. Looks for his first strike of the final. Has it.
Brad Angelo's got a little bit of room on the lanes. The first shot on the right lane was a little bit straighter up the lane. This ball gets out further to the right, but watch what it does when it comes back. Can you say shred the rack?
Rick did some rack shredding of his own. Semifinal number 2. And give credit to Rick for admitting, I was a little nervous. Shaking my boots a bit there. Taking on the legendary Walter Ray Williams Jr. Big strike. Back in '99, Rick Lawrence won his only title in Wichita, Kansas. That's where we're headed. PBA Pepsi Open this year, Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 on the West Coast here on ESPN. Continuing live coverage of the PBA Tour. Tour stop number 5. We'll see who takes home the $40,000 first place prize. Tour exemption for next season as well. Perhaps Brad Angelo earns the auto exemption with his first ever title. Rick Lawrence has that in mind as well. Stays high.
Hey. Rick Lawrence out of the gate with a 3-bagger. He's all over Brad Angelo like a bad habit. Watch this, a little shredding the rack of his own. Half pocket rip the rack. Oh, yeah.
Rick knows very well, as does his family. It was a tale of 2 seasons for him last year. After Toledo, Ohio, early in the year, he was 10th place on the points list, and things really fell apart for Rick. As we see the lane comparison with Brad Angelo. He's had trouble on this lane. Trying to change that. Does.
Yeah, and I don't think you're going to see quite the trash talking in this match that you saw with Jason Couch. It's just not Rick Lawrence's nature. As you take a look at Brad Angelo's roommate, the World Open champion, or World Championship champion, Tom Baker. But in any event, it's a great strike. He's only down by 10. With another strike in the 4th frame, Brad Angelo can even this matchup.
Lost to Bakes. World Championship last year, 277-243 in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Tom, of course, went on to win it and earned that long exemption. What a story that was. 5 years. Look out through the nose. 3, 6, 7, 10 remain up for Angelo. Look out.
Take a look at this shot, at how far left this ball is. Remember, the last time on the left lane, that ball got out to like the 5th board. That ball was pulled. He doesn't get the good break. He leaves at 3, 6, 7, 10. He'll try to get this ball right of the 3-pin, throw it over into the 7. The ball will take out the 6-10.
6-pin count, that's it. First ball for Angelo. That can really be damaging. He was working on a double there. And Lawrence has the turkey to start off this match. Look out, 2 remain up. 3-7 remain up for Brad Angelo, an open frame, and he's suddenly down 28 pins. Can Rick Lawrence make history of his own? We'll find out. Brad Angelo told us last night.
And this finger hits it too much and gets it started too soon. It doesn't get it to the right quick.
As he talks with Tom Baker, his roommate, 2 Western New York, Buffalo area natives, and he wanted to interact between the TV timeout and action to try to relax a little bit. Special thanks to Don Clack, to the GM of Brunswick Zone Lakeside here in Greater St. Louis. He and his staff, a tremendous job on these lanes. We've seen some big shots, Randy, including today's Uniroyal Tile Rock and Roll.
Yeah, by that man right there, Rick Lawrence, taking the golden horseshoe away from his opponent, Walter A. Williams Jr., with hits like this. Talk about rolling the 6, 7, 10. He rolled his way to victory.
Rick Lawrence talked to us last night about focus, trying to stay relaxed. But he was so confident in his ball layout and ball reaction all week long. Really, when we saw him this morning, he arrived at the center. He still had a confident air about him. It hasn't changed. Looks for 4 in a row to start the match. 7-pin.
To me, that ball was just launched a little bit too far out onto the lane, which didn't get that ball to rev up soon enough, thus leaving the flat 7. I think first things first, convert the spirit, maintain your 27-pin lead, and then get right back on it with a strike in the next frame.
Born in South Texas, spent much of his time as a young man near San Antonio. Bernie, Texas, about 30 miles from San Antonio.
And they have that
tonight.
They have that really good quarterback, Brett Favre.
You've heard of him?
Yeah. Okay, it's Favre. I know that.
Come on, Rick Lawrence. Another big strike. Folks, this is a gentleman who left Texas for Shreveport, Louisiana. In his early 30s, he was working as a pipeline welder for a gas company. He was not a full-time bowler. He's now a carpenter in the off-season in the Dallas area. This is someone who has not made a Hall of Fame type career out of bowling, but he's on the verge.
There's something
That's
about
how you throw it. Now let's go.
Something about pipe welder and gas company. I don't like the sound of that. But take a look at what Brad Angelo did on the left lane. This was the 2nd frame. Now watch how much further left this ball is down the lane. It's about 6 boards left. That's what he has to avoid. Somewhere in between those last 2 shots, this ball will be dead flush perfect.
Breakdown through 5. Angelo works on a strike. That's high again. Wow, 3, 4, 7 this time, Randy.
Yeah, and it almost looks like what's happening on the left lane to Brad Angelo is because of the very first ball that he threw. It took its time getting back. It came in light, and the last two haven't even been close to that same spot down the lane.
Rick Lawrence, folks, an improbable, incredible victory is within his sights. Second Open potentially for Angelo. Desperately needs to convert it. Will not. 4-7 up for Brad Angelo in his 6th career TV appearance with his wife Michelle, their children Dylan and Brielle. His mother-in-law Jody has come in from Southern California for the Thanksgiving holiday.
The winner of this match will knock out Hugh Miller and gain entry into the season-ending Tournament of Champions. Right now, Rick Lawrence is in the driver's seat. A strike here, he can take a 51-pin lead.
Wow. Can he do it?
And not even a reaction. This guy is serious. You may not like the way he bowls, but this guy can bowl. He's not here by accident.
And he's a heck of a carpenter in the Dallas area. Has worked with such PBA bowlers as Chris Barnes. Paul Fleming built a trophy case for Chris Barnes. He's about to put a trophy in his own trophy case here, Randy.
Yeah, he's on the way to adding another one to that lone victory back in '99 in Wichita.
Unbelievable. Looks for the turkey ball here. 3 straight. Puts him up 61.
What a beautiful shot. What a beautiful shot. You can tell as soon as he let it go, there was very little movement at the foul line, and that ball was high flush.
Gail, Matt, Kayla have got to be completely shocked, overwhelmed with joy at this moment to see Rick with this huge lead. Blowing Angelo out in the final. Brad finally strikes. But after the Open, he opened at 2 of the 3 frames in the 4th and 6th with a strike in the 5th in a huge hole.
Right now, the best Angelo can shoot is 218. Rick Lawrence is shooting 239. He would need Rick Lawrence to have a major collapse for him to have any chance of winning this.
61-pin lead. And as Randy mentioned the maximums, look where Lawrence is, a potential 279. And this is painful history coming back to Brad Angelo from last year's TV appearances.
See that?
Double wood stays up for him there. The 2 and the 8. We talked about it last year. 6 games on TV. How about the opponents, Randy? Just blistering Brad. Almost a 250 average.
Yeah, and what I'm seeing is exactly what happened in the Reno Open last year against Mika Koivuniemi. Brad Angelo's lost his reaction on that lane. That shot there did not appear to be a bad shot. It looked like it was in the right spot, and it doesn't get up to the pocket.
Never easy to cover the double wood, but he does. He lost that match to Mika in Reno, Randy, 258 to 181. You lose the ball reaction, the worst possible time. Rick Lawrence was so confident coming in that he could predict the oil breakdown, and he's done it.
Right, and you know what? Here's the difference between a Brad Angelo type of reaction and a Rick Lawrence and Walter Ray type of reaction. When they start to lose the spot down the lane because they're going straight, they don't leave these wide open splits. They can make small adjustments to get back to the 1-2 or the 1-3 pocket, the 1-2 in Rick's case. Brad Angelo is certainly not the case because he's a high-powered player.
Shreds the rack. Whoa, is that flush? 60 feet to success for Rick Lawrence, a 71-pin lead, a 4-bagger.
Watch the reaction by Rick Lawrence like he can't believe what is about to happen to him today.
All he needs to do, folks, is keep on the lane here, and it's over. He'll wrap up his 2nd career title with his wife and 2 of his kids watching. 2 daughters back home in Texas have got to be in tears. How could they not be? To watch their dad take home the title. He has wrapped it up with a split. I don't think he'll care 1 iota about that. It's his 2nd career championship. The BowlersParadise.com Open champion from St. Louis. Improbable history, but history nonetheless for Rick Lawrence. He's a winner again.
Congratulations. Great job.
On the PBA Tour. I'm not sure Gail knew it was over, and then Dick Weber had a reminder. Yes, in fact, he did wrap it up. You've got your title. Too little too late for Brad Angelo. A 45-year-old from Salina, Texas, near
Okay,
Dallas.
how do you want me to move on this lane here? What should I do? Give me a hand, will you?
Help from anyone on the left lane.
This one is over.
What do I hear? Yeah, left-handed, no.
Brad's getting some suggestions, but the moment belongs to Rick Lawrence, who finished 69th at the ABC Masters, 39th in Chicago, 62nd in Cleveland. He's been nowhere near the top. It was an amazing story, Randy, last year that he even made the exempt field. He needed an incredible top 25 finish at the ABC Masters. The World Championship, rather, with a double points last year. He did that, made himself exempt. It's a slight miracle he's even here to be eligible for this title today.
Well, and I think the thing that's important is that once he got the exemption, he took advantage of it.
Thanks a lot, Rick.
Of course, he doesn't leave the block 7-10 until it doesn't matter. But you know what? This was Rick Lawrence's day. You could see it in the Walter Ray match when he went through the nose a couple of times and carried 2 key strikes. The writing was on the wall.
Well, we might want to record this moment coming up for the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge.
All right.
And still undefeated on television.
Incredible story. .6-0 on TV, and now a second title. His family, joy all around. Rick Lawrence, a winner again on tour. Undefeated on television, 6-0 his career, and now exempt for the next tour season. Rick Lawrence from near Dallas, Texas, a PBA champion again. You barely made the exempt field for this year after the great performance of the World Championship in Ypsilanti last season, Rick. Did you ever think this moment was possible?
Well, it was a goal of mine, but you know, it's just like this was a magical week, and we're not even in Kansas yet. And but everything just fell into place, and thank God and everything, and going to enjoy it.
With your family here, it was so emotional. How did you keep yourself together?
Well, about like it is right now.
Congratulations. It was fantastic to watch. A tremendous victory today for Rick Lawrence as he takes it over Brad Angelo in the final from St. Louis. Don't forget, next week we'll be in Wichita. That's where Rick Lawrence won last time in '99, the PBA Pepsi Open. For Randy Peterson, my partner, it's Dave Ryan saying so long. A special thanks to Dick Weber as well. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Jimmy V Women's Basketball Classic is coming up here on ESPN. So long. We'll see you next week from Wichita.